Alright, we're back for another video of my 2013 Carrera 2 cab, and today we're going to be adding a suspension controller. So let me show you what I got. Okay, so this is a DSC V3 suspension controller. Now I bought this used off somebody that had a 981 Cayman, and he used it mostly for track. That's why he bought it, track events, high performance driving events. And my thought is I want this just for every day. I'm not going to be tracking my car, but there are a lot of benefits supposedly that this will offer. So let me tell you how I think it's going to work. Alright, so the OEM PASM suspension is set for 20% damping in normal mode and 80% in sport mode. So when you toggle back and forth, you're basically just toggling between 20 and 80% of the available damping adjustability. So the way that would work is that's at rest. This car, when you're in normal mode, is at 20%. If you start to drive hard and the conditions are such where you need more firmness, the car's not going to do anything. It's staying at 20% unless you flip over to sport mode. Then you get 80%. Now, do you need 80? Maybe you really wanted 60. Maybe the turn you're in, the G-force, the load, the speed, maybe 60 would have been better, but you don't have that choice. You're either in 20 or 80. So that's really what the DSC V3 gives you. It gives you, when you're in normal or sport, it's going to dynamically adjust itself based on road conditions, speed, G-force. So it's mapped to give you compliant ride and also performance. Now, that's the way it comes, but you can also adjust all of those parameters as well. So you can connect it to your laptop and you can play around with the settings. So for me, my thought is I want to make this a little softer in normal mode than it currently is. Like I said, it's at 20. I'm going to start out at 10. I expect it to be even a better ride on irregular surfaces, bad roads, things like that. But if I start to get on it, I expect that it'll ramp up the damping to suit the conditions. So it should give me the kind of performance that I want within reason in normal mode, but give me an even better ride day to day. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for there. I think for sport, I'm just going to make it even more performance than the stock setup. I mean, I'm not going to set it at 80 statically, but I'm going to try to give it more of an aggressive kind of setup. So I'll be playing around with that too. So that's my thoughts. Let's go into the installation. I'm going to grab some tools and we'll start setting up ready to install. This shouldn't be bad at all. I've heard it's pretty easy install. All right, so we're going to start out by removing these two covers here. You should just be able to pry up from and back. And they release like that. Okay, so I just have the roof raised just a little bit. Let me get these screws out. Okay, this removes easy enough. Okay, covers off. Now we want to bring the roof up even more because we've got to get it at the carpet in the back. Alright, so this is how I've got it, if you can see that. And I think the best thing to do, we've got to remove these two plugs here. and then I think I'm going to get in the car because it's just going to be hard to reach in and do this. You can see that, just peeling that plug up. That holds the carpet, I guess. Alright, and I'm gonna get in the car now. Alright, so we wanna, this carpet is kind of pulled up and over these 3 points. So, actually, and this is kind of tucked in there. Alright, so there's 1, 2, 3. Oh, we got a couple more in the corners, it looks like. Okay, I'm gonna get a flathead for those because you gotta get under it and you got this bar preventing me access. Alright, so you really have to pull this carpet this way and get it up over that hook. Not sure if you can see it. I think the best tool, and I tried a flathead but wasn't getting anywhere, would be just kind of pulling on the rug with this, a tool like this. Then you can get it up over that hook. Alright, so now the carpet's totally unhooked. And we can fold it back like this. And then if we look down here, there's the OEM controller. So that's what we have to replace. Now it's not fastened in any way, it just sits there. So I need to pull that up and disconnect 2 connectors on it. Okay, hopefully you can see this. So the controller didn't really want to come out of its little space until I released this short connector. And that short connector, you just slide that way and it comes out. The large, you go that way. Now, my understanding is the large one is tricky. It just takes more effort. But this one came off very easily. Once I did that, now I've got more room. So, and because you do want some room. So let's see how I can do with this one. Okay, that connector came off. So I kind of had the flathead where you saw it, and then with my finger, my left hand, I pushed on the opposite side, and between the two it just popped off. So now we can remove this. Let's take a look at it. Alright, here are the 2 controllers side by side. I want to point out that the new one has a mini USB connection, okay? And that way you can read and write to it from a laptop. So I'm going to run this cable somewhere behind the back seat. Alright, so I've got the DSC V3 in place. I've got the connectors on. They went on much easier than they came off the OEM controller. Now I want to put my USB connector on here, the cable, before I button everything up. So I did end up having to go with a right angle here. You can see it. A straight connector just didn't fit in that space, and this looks like it's just barely gonna fit, but it does. And let's figure out where we're gonna route this cable. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm having a little trouble fishing that wire over to here. There's just like a wall of metal and stuff behind here, so can't really work my way to there. So I'm gonna remove this panel. Let's see if I can get my fingers behind here. think I need to do the whole thing. So let me see what I can do here now that I can see down into the wall. See if I can get that cable over here. Come on. Oop, I see it. I see it, but can I grab it? Probably not. Let me see if I just pull this whole panel off. All right, so the thought is it'll be out to the side here. So you can see it'll basically just be in this corner. Now, if I want to use that, what I would do is take my extension cord. I could just plug that into the USB here, run this over to the passenger seat where I'd have a laptop. So easy enough. That's basically it. I'm not going to go through the programming and settings, adjustment. A lot of that stuff is on the web. If you do get one of these, it's easy enough to learn how to play around with it. But that's the install in the Cabriolet 991. Hope this helps.